I, 31M, caught my wife, 29F, cheating with my best friend. She said it was my fault. So yeah, never thought I'd be that guy writing one of these, but here I am. This happened 2 weeks ago and my head is still spinning. I've been married to my wife, Julia, for almost 4 years. We don't have kids. I thought things were fine. Not amazing, not terrible, you know, the usual ups and downs. We both work a lot, and I've been trying to get a promotion at my company, so yeah, maybe I was a bit distant, but I never thought she'd do what she did. My best friend since college, Mark, 32M, has been like a brother to me. He was even my best man at the wedding. He's stayed over at our house, we've gone on trips together. He was the kind of guy I thought I could trust with anything. 2 weeks ago, I came home early from work. I was supposed to be in a late meeting, but it got cancelled last minute. I didn't even text Julia I was coming, figured I'd surprise her with some dinner. Well, I sure did surprise her. I walk into our apartment, and there's music playing, loud. Bedroom door is half closed. I go in, and there they are, Julia and Mark, in our bed, naked. She screamed. He freaked out and tried to cover himself with my shirt. I didn't say anything. I just stared at them while my heart literally tried to punch its way out of my chest. And then she starts yelling at me. Why didn't you tell me you were coming home? You never just show up like that. This is insane. She blamed me for not warning her I was coming home to my own damn house. I looked at Mark. He just sat there, silent, looking guilty as hell. Like a dog that knows it's going to get kicked. I didn't even hit him. I just left. Got in my car and drove for an hour. She texted me later saying it wasn't what it looked like. Said they were just talking at first and things happened. Said she was confused and that I haven't been emotionally present lately. Bro. She slept with my best friend and then told me it was basically my fault. I'm not sure what to do next. I haven't spoken to either of them since. I'm staying with my cousin. Everyone's telling me I need to get a lawyer, but my brain is still in shock. I don't know if I want revenge or peace or just to disappear for a while. She showed up at my cousin's house screaming like a lunatic. Then she dropped another bombshell. So I've been staying at my cousin Dan's place since I caught Julia and Mark together. I still haven't answered her calls or texts. Just can't. Last night around 10 p.m. there's loud banging on the door. Dan opens it and it's Julia. Barefoot, in sweatpants, hair a mess, crying, screaming, holding a half-empty bottle of wine. She looked completely unhinged. She sees me and immediately starts yelling. How could you just leave? We needed to talk. I told her to calm down, but she kept screaming. Said I was immature for running away instead of fighting for our marriage. Yeah, fighting for a marriage where she literally had sex with my best friend in our bed. Then she suddenly dropped a f-king bomb. It wasn't just once. Okay, it happened a few times. But it didn't mean anything. She said that like she was confessing, like I was supposed to be proud of her honesty. I just stood there, silent. And then she says, "You never listened to me. I needed someone who made me feel alive. Mark did that." At this point my cousin stepped in and told her to leave. She slapped him. Legit slapped my cousin in the face. Then she looked at me and said, with this psychotic, shaking voice, "If I can't have you, no one will. Remember that." We had to call the police. She left before they arrived, but I filed a report. The whole thing felt like a horror movie. And guess what? 3 hours later, I got a text from Mark. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I think she's obsessed. I'm sorry, man. Bro. Now he wants to backpedal. He was perfectly fine sticking it in my wife for weeks, and now she goes full crazy and he suddenly plays innocent. I honestly don't know what's scarier, the fact that I was married to someone capable of this level of gaslighting, or that my best friend turned out to be the biggest snake I've ever met. And this isn't even the end. Because today, I got an email from a burner account with pictures. Pictures of Julia and another guy. Not Mark. Someone else. What the actual FK is going on? Turns out she wasn't just cheating with my best friend. She was cheating with his older brother too. Yeah. I wish this was some sick joke. After the meltdown at my cousin's place, I barely slept. This morning, I wake up to an email from a burner account. Subject line: "You deserve the truth." Inside, a few photos. It's Julia, with another man. They're kissing, in a hotel room. She's straddling him in one of the shots. I almost pooped. I zoomed in on the guy's face. My stomach dropped. It's Alex, Mark's older brother. married, 2 kids. I've had beers with this guy. He's been to our home. We went to his daughter's birthday party last year. I stared at the photos for like 10 minutes in silence. Then I texted Mark and sent the pics. No answer. For an hour. Then he finally replies, "Yeah, I found out a week ago. That's why I tried to end it. She's been with both of us a week ago. So this whole time, he's known. He didn't tell me. Just let me sit in my confusion while she was out here pulling a brother's love triangle like some sick telenovela." But wait. It gets even worse. Alex messaged me too. On Facebook. This man, married with kids, had the balls to say, "Luke, I didn't know she was still with Mark. I didn't mean for it to get messy. Please don't tell my wife." Oh really? Didn't mean for it to get messy. You were banging your younger brother's side piece, who also happened to be my wife, in hotel rooms. I don't even know what kind of person Julia is anymore. I used to think she was dramatic, sure. But this is calculated chaos. She's like a nuke with a pretty face. I called a divorce lawyer today. It's official. I'm getting the hell out. But just when I thought I'd hit the bottom, I got a DM from a random woman on Instagram. She said, "Hi, I think we need to talk. I've also been with Alex. But this is actually about Julia." What the hell is happening? There's a video. Someone is blackmailing Julia. And it changes everything. After getting that DM on Instagram from the random woman, I decided to call her. Her name's Alyssa. She said she found me after seeing a post Julia made in some private Facebook group for women reclaiming their power, or a toxic girl boss cheating circle. Alyssa's been seeing Alex, Mark's older brother, on and off for months. She didn't know he was married until recently, and guess who told her? Julia. Apparently, Julia and Alex recorded a video together. A very explicit video. They did it on purpose, with full faces showing. Julia even looked into the camera and said my name during part of it. Wanna guess who sent Alyssa a copy? Julia. As some twisted proof that Alex was hers. She was marking her territory. But here's where it gets worse. Alyssa said she wasn't the only one who got the video. Someone, anonymous, has been sending that video to random people connected to Julia. Co-workers, friends, even one of her old professors. The email says, "This is the real Julia. Thought you should know." That's when I realized someone is blackmailing her. Alyssa confirmed Julia's been in panic mode. She even tried to blame Alyssa for leaking it. But Alyssa's not stupid. She showed me screenshots of Julia sending her the video from her own iCloud account. This isn't just cheating anymore. Julia's life is starting to implode. Her work is strict corporate stuff. If that video gets to HR, she's finished. And you know what? I'm not even mad. I'm just watching it all crumble. Like watching a wildfire that I didn't start, but damn, it's warm. Mark hasn't said anything since his "I'm sorry" text. Alex is Mia. Probably begging his wife not to leave him. And Julia. She had the audacity to text me today. "I think we can work through this. I need you now more than ever." Lmao. No, sweetheart. You needed me before you filmed an adult movie with your affair partner and shouted my name while riding him like a rented bike. And the best part. I'm not the one who leaked that video. But I have a very, very good guess who did. A secret ally came forward and told me Julia's been lying since before we got married. So after the blackmail video situation, I figured I'd seen the worst. I was wrong. Last night, I got a message from someone I hadn't talked to in years, my ex-girlfriend, Tessa. We dated in college. Things ended peacefully, we went our separate ways. I hadn't even thought about her in forever. She messages me out of nowhere. "Hey, I know this is random. But can we talk? It's about Julia. I think she's always hated me, and now I finally know why." That caught my attention. We met for coffee this morning, and Tessa told me something that shattered me. Apparently, Julia used to stalk her Instagram while I was still dating Tessa. Even messaged her anonymously at least 3 times, accusing her of not being good enough for me and telling her to watch her back. Tessa thought it was just a crazy troll and blocked the account. Then she showed me screenshots. One of the usernames, Real Queen 99. Julia used that same email on a coupon app once. It's hers. No doubt. Here's the kicker. Julia deliberately inserted herself into my life by pretending to run into me accidentally at a bookstore 6 months after I broke up with Tessa. She had been watching me through social media the entire time. So that cute romantic moment I always told people about, the how we met story. A effing lie. A setup. She knew where I'd be. She planned it. She hunted me. I felt sick. My skin was crawling. I looked back at everything, how fast we moved, how she always made me feel like I had saved her, how she mirrored my interests at the start, and I realized she love-bombed me, manipulated me from day one, and now the whole mask is falling off. But we are not done yet, because guess who called me this afternoon? Julia's boss. He didn't say much, just that he wanted to speak about something delicate. Apparently, someone anonymously sent that sex video to HR. He was trying to handle it internally before legal got involved. So yeah, she's this close to losing her job. And I haven't even said a word to her yet. I'm just sitting here, watching the empire she built on lies burn to the effing ground. She doesn't even know what's coming next. Because tomorrow, I meet with Alex's wife. And she's ready to talk. I met with Alex's wife. She brought receipts, screenshots and a pregnancy test. So yeah, I met up with Lena, Alex's wife, at a quiet little diner near her sister's place. She looked calm, but I could see the fire in her eyes. We sat down, and within 30 seconds she pulled out a folder. A literal folder. Inside, printed screenshots, DMS, emails, hotel receipts, even gift cards Alex had sent Julia, disguised as client expenses. And then, right on top of everything, she placed it. A positive pregnancy test. My stomach dropped. She looks at me and says, "This is hers." Julia sent Alex this pic 2 weeks ago. She told him she might be pregnant, and that it might be his. I was speechless. Like actually couldn't breathe for a second. Lena kept going. Calm, cold, organized fury. Julia told Alex that if he didn't leave me, she'd tell everyone about the video. He panicked. But she didn't stop there. She also told Mark that she was pregnant and he might be the father too. What the actual hell? She was telling both brothers they might be the father of the same potential baby. Lena wasn't done. She pulled out a small USB stick and slid it across the table. This has the rest. Voice recordings. Screenshots from Alex's phone. She even told him she faked a miscarriage once to manipulate another guy. Your wife is toxic. No, she's not a wife. Not anymore. She's a walking disaster in human form. Here's the twist though, Lena doesn't just want a divorce. She wants to expose everything. Publicly. She asked if I'd be willing to go in on it together, share the story, post proof, destroy Julia and Alex's reputations. Apparently, Alex works in finance and his whole career depends on being respectable. I told her I needed time to think. But let me tell you something. I'm very tempted. Because right now, Julia has no idea that I know about the fake pregnancy. She has no idea I met with Lena. And she's still texting me every day like she's the victim. Today she texted, "I think we should go to couples therapy. I know deep down you still love me." Yeah, I did love her. Now I just want to see how far she falls when the truth hits the air. And with Lena on my side, it's about to get real loud. We exposed Julia publicly. She lost her mind and someone ended up in the hospital. So Lena didn't wait. Less than 24 hours after our meeting, she dropped everything. She posted a full expose on Facebook, public, with screenshots, timestamps, names, the video still blurred, but obvious, and even snippets of Julia's insane messages to both Alex and Mark. Caption: "To the woman who destroyed 2 families, this is your legacy." It spread like wildfire. Comments flooded in. People were tagging Julia's job, her friends, her yoga studio, even her mom. Within 3 hours, Julia's Instagram was wiped clean. Her Facebook disappeared. And then she showed up at my cousin's house again. Only this time, she was completely unhinged. Pounding on the door, screaming, crying, laughing mid-sentence. Like some split personality horror show. I didn't even answer the door, but Dan did, because she was waking up the whole street. That's when she attacked him. Scratched his neck, shoved him, tried to force her way inside. We called the cops, again. But before they got there, Mark showed up. Apparently, Julia had called him mid-meltdown. He tried to calm her down, but she spit in his face and screamed, "This is all your fault. You told him." He shouted back, "You told us both we might be the father. What the hell did you expect?" Then she slapped him, hard. He stumbled backward, tripped on the curb, hit the pavement, and cracked his head on the edge of a landscaping stone. Blood everywhere. Paramedics came. Mark was conscious but dazed. He was taken to the hospital for a concussion and stitches. Julia, arrested on the spot. Disorderly conduct. Assault. Resisting. They put her in cuffs while she screamed, "You're all jealous. You'll never be loved like me." It was honestly disturbing. I used to sleep next to this woman. I used to plan vacations with her. Think about that. Mark's okay, by the way. Got out a few hours ago. He actually texted me from the hospital. I should have warned you years ago. I'm sorry, man. Too little, too late. But here's the thing, this still isn't over. Because while Julia was being booked, her phone was confiscated. And there's something on it the police found. Something about me. They're calling me in tomorrow. The police showed me what was on Julia's phone. I wish I never saw it. So I went down to the station today like they asked. They said it was regarding evidence obtained during her arrest. I figured it was just more proof of the assault or maybe texts threatening Mark or Alex. Nope. It was about me. A detective sat me down and asked, "Did you know your wife had a private folder labeled exit strategy on her phone?" My stomach sank. They opened the files and showed me some of it. And holy FK, she was planning to destroy me. There were screenshots of my bank info, notes on my passwords. Somehow she knew my backups, photos of my journal pages I didn't even know she had access to it, voice recordings of our fights edited to make me sound abusive, draft emails addressed to my boss full of fake accusations, and then there was a video of her fake crying in our bathroom, saying, "If anything happens to me, it's because my name snapped. He's not well. I don't feel safe." That's when I realized she was building a false abuse case, planning to ruin me, professionally and personally, probably hoping to take everything in the divorce, even get a restraining order to block me from fighting back, all while she was sleeping with two brothers, lying about being pregnant, and assaulting my cousin. The cops said they couldn't arrest her for that alone, but it will be included in the case file, and if she tries anything again, she's toast. I left the station shaking. My entire body was numb. I thought I was just escaping a cheating wife. Turns out, I was living with a manipulative psychopath who had a long-term plan to erase my life. I told Lena everything. She cried. Not because of Alex, she already made peace with that, but because she said, "I always thought she was fake, but I never imagined she was this evil." The police kept Julia overnight. She got out this morning. I haven't heard from her yet. But when I do, I won't be responding. I'll be pressing charges and contacting every lawyer I can find. Because now, this isn't a breakup, it's war. Julia's mom showed up at my door and told me something that made everything make sense, and so much worse. So I got a knock at the door today. I open it, and it's an older woman, maybe mid-50s, dressed sharp but tired looking. She stares at me for a second and says, "You don't know me. I'm Julia's mother." For a moment, I didn't know what to say. I hadn't seen her in years. She was always too busy or out of town whenever we invited her for holidays. Julia always said they had a strained relationship. I let her in, and she just sat down and exhaled like she'd been carrying the weight of 1,000 secrets. Then she said, "I came to apologize, and to warn you." She started telling me things, dark things. Apparently, Julia's been like this her whole life. Her mom said Julia was a compulsive liar by age 10. She'd frame other kids in school, fake injuries for attention, even accused a family friend of touching her, completely made up. The man nearly lost his job before she admitted she wanted to see what would happen. Her parents tried therapy. She manipulated the therapist. Got caught stealing from her dad's office at 16, but blamed a cousin. The cousin was grounded for a month and still doesn't know Julia set her up. And then came the part that chilled me to the core. She had a boyfriend once. A really sweet boy. Pre-med. He dumped her after catching her in lies. A week later, she told everyone he hit her. Even showed fake bruises with makeup. His life was nearly destroyed. Her mom said that was the final straw. They cut ties for a while. But Julia always found people to believe her, always made herself the victim. It made everything click. The gaslighting, the crying fits, the staged videos, the "I'm the real victim here" texts. Her mom handed me an envelope. It was filled with old notes, printouts, even a psychiatric evaluation she'd kept hidden all these years. It described narcissistic personality traits with potential antisocial behavior. Her mom said, "She's not just broken, she's dangerous, and I don't know what she's capable of now that she's cornered." Before she left, she grabbed my hand and said, "Please don't let her drag you down with her. She always takes someone down when she falls." And you know what? I believe her. I don't know where Julia is now. She hasn't called. no texts, not even a rage-fueled voicemail, which is terrifying in its own way, because when Julia goes quiet she's planning something. 10. Julia resurfaced. She's not sorry. She's threatening me and she wants something insane. After days of total silence, I thought maybe, just maybe, she was backing off. Maybe the arrest, the public exposure, the job loss, the hospital incident, maybe it finally broke her. No, she's not broken. She's weaponized. Yesterday morning, I got an email from an address I didn't recognize. Just one line in the subject. Let's talk like adults. I opened it. Big mistake. Inside, a long-winded rant about how I ruined her life, a list of conditions for how we could move forward together like mature people, threats to go public with my side of the story if I didn't agree to meet in person, and then came the final line. You still owe me an apology, and I'm willing to forgive you if you admit your part in this. An apology. After she cheated on me with my best friend and his married brother, tried to frame me as abusive, faked a pregnancy, assaulted people, and nearly ended someone's career with a sex tape. She wants me to apologize. But it gets worse. Last night, I got a phone call. Unknown number. Against my better judgment, I answered. It was Julia. Calm. Creepy calm. I've been thinking, she said. We should take this opportunity to monetize the drama. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? The story's already out there, she said. Everyone's watching. So let's give them a show. We do a podcast. You and me. Tell both sides. Make money from this. I swear to God I thought it was a prank. I even asked if someone put her up to it. She said, you don't understand the power of public sympathy. They think I'm the villain right now, but you could help me reshape the narrative. We both win. No, we do not both win. You do not get to profit off of blowing up people's lives. I told her to lose my number. She laughed and said, careful. You keep pushing me, I might actually leak the rest. I hung up. The rest. What the hell else is there? I called my lawyer immediately. He told me to block her, report everything, and document everything. She's spiraling again. But this time, it's not tears. It's strategy. Narcissistic damage control. I've since found out she did get fired. Apparently, HR found more content on her work laptop. She'd been using company time to sext Alex and even saved the edited abuse recordings in her work drive. So now she has nothing to lose. And people like Julia are most dangerous when they've got nothing left. She went after my mom. She showed up at her house and said something unforgivable. I thought blocking her, reporting her, and getting the lawyers involved would slow Julia down. Instead, she just changed targets. She went after my family. Yesterday afternoon, I get a panicked call from my mom. She's 64. Sweet, gentle, very private. She's kept out of all this chaos other than knowing we are divorcing and things got bad. She didn't even know the full story. I was trying to protect her from it. But Julia, she showed up at my mom's front door, unannounced. No warning. Middle of the day. She brought flowers, smiled, acted like it was just a casual visit to her former mother-in-law. My mom said Julia started out fake nice, saying she wanted to clear the air and tell her side. My mom told her gently that this wasn't the time or place. That's when Julia snapped. She suddenly started yelling, "Your son is a liar. He's trying to ruin my life. He's dangerous and unstable and I have proof." My mom was shocked. She told her to leave. Julia stepped closer and said, "If I end up dead, it'll be on your conscience. Let that sink in." She told my elderly mother, who has heart problems, that I might kill her someday. And then she said this, "You raised a monster. You always knew he had a dark side. I'm just the only one brave enough to speak up." My mom was shaking when she called me, barely able to breathe. I nearly lost it. I drove straight to her house, but by the time I got there, Julia was gone. A neighbor had come out and told her to leave after hearing her scream. Thank God for them. I reported it immediately. My lawyer's filing for a restraining order, not just for me now, but for my entire family. And guess what Julia's still posting? From burner accounts. Last night she posted this cryptic tweet. "Funny how the world sees me as the villain. But maybe the real monsters wear wedding rings and smile for family photos." She wants people to think I'm abusive. Dangerous. A sociopath. She's setting the stage for something. I can feel it. And the scariest part. People like her. They don't need truth. They just need attention. She doesn't care who gets hurt. She just refuses to lose. She got caught. Julia broke the law, and this time, the cops didn't let her walk away. After she showed up at my mom's house, I was done being passive. I handed everything to my lawyer, the voice emails, the burner accounts, even a screenshot of her cryptic tweet. We filed for a protective order for me and my family. That same day, my cousin Dan, the one she scratched during her last freakout, got a call from a friend who works at a nearby electronics store. Apparently, Julia came in asking if someone could help her wipe a phone clean but keep certain files. Dan called me immediately. I told the police. They didn't say much at the time, but they were watching her. That night, she broke into our old apartment. It was technically still in both our names. She hadn't moved her name off the lease yet. I had already moved out and was staying with Dan, and the place was mostly empty except for a few things boxed up for removal. I guess she thought no one would be checking. But what she didn't know was that I had a security camera running in the entryway, motion activated, and it recorded everything. She came in wearing gloves, a hoodie, and carrying a USB stick. She started going through my boxes, even opened my personal documents folder, flipping through tax papers, insurance, medical records. She was looking for something. Maybe trying to fake more abuse evidence. Maybe stealing my identity. Who the hell knows? Then she pulled out her phone and started taking pictures of my stuff, my medication bottles, notes, one old journal entry I hadn't thrown out. And then, she trashed the place. I mean full-blown tantrum. Knocked over shelves, ripped papers, dumped a box of old photos all over the floor, kicked in a chair leg, and wrote liar in lipstick across the bathroom mirror. I sent the footage straight to my lawyer and the police. They didn't even hesitate. They arrested her that night. Breaking and entering, vandalism, theft of private documents, violation of protective boundaries. She screamed the whole time. My friend in the department told me she was yelling, "He's ruining my life. I made him. He owes me everything." When they cuffed her, she apparently started laughing like a maniac. This time, no release, no overnight hold. She was officially booked and charged. The look on her face in the mugshot. Pure rage. No tears. Just eyes full of fire. And I know this isn't the end. Because a woman like Julia, she doesn't stop at jail. She plots. Julia's final move from jail, and how an unexpected ally uncovered her darkest secret. So Julia's locked up, right? You'd think I'd finally get some peace. Wrong. 2 days after her arrest, I got a call from Mark, the brother she also cheated with. Yeah, it's a mess. He said he'd heard rumors from one of Julia's friends. Rumors about a secret she'd been hiding from everyone. Curious, I agreed to meet him. He showed up with a USB stick. He said Julia's friend had leaked some files before she was arrested, and one folder was labeled Project Revenge. The truth about my name. Inside were emails, voice memos, and even a video confession, but it wasn't what I expected. The video was Julia talking to someone I didn't recognize. She was calm, like a chess player planning the final move. She said, "If I can't have him, no one can. I've got dirt on everyone close to him. And if he thinks he's winning, he's got another thing coming." She mentioned a name, someone from my work, who she was planning to drag into the drama by fabricating an affair and blackmailing them. Mark and I realized this wasn't just about me anymore. She was trying to destroy my entire life, friends, family, career. We took everything to my lawyer and the police. Now there's an active investigation into the people Julia tried to frame or threaten behind the scenes. I honestly don't know how this ends. But one thing is clear. Julia's madness runs deeper than I ever imagined. The investigation's fallout hits home, and a shocking visit forces me to choose who I really am. After handing over all the evidence to the police and my lawyer, I thought the nightmare might finally slow down. It didn't. The investigation shook up my entire circle. Friends I thought I could trust suddenly looked at me sideways, wondering if any of Julia's lies were true. Even at work, whispers started, and worst of all, the person Julia tried to frame. They confronted me. They were hurt and confused, but after I showed them the proof, they stood by me. That meant everything. Then, out of nowhere, I got a visitor, someone I never expected to see in my apartment. Julia's mother. After everything she'd told me before, I thought we were done. But she looked desperate. She said, "Julia's gotten worse. She's not herself anymore. I'm scared she'll hurt someone." She begged me to consider one last thing. Getting Julia professional help, not just dragging her through court battles. It was a shock. Part of me wanted to say no, after all the pain, the lies, the chaos, why should I care? But another part of me remembered who I was before all this started. I realized the real battle wasn't just against Julia, it was about choosing to be better than the mess she made. I'm filing for divorce, yes. But I'm also trying to find a way to close this chapter without letting it break me. Because at the end of the day, I want to live my life on my terms, not hers. The final confrontation, the divorce, and what I'm walking away with. After everything, the lies, the betrayal, the threats, the arrest, it finally came down to one last meeting with Julia. Our divorce hearing. I wasn't expecting closure. I thought I'd be angry or broken. But when I saw her, I just felt exhausted. She was still bitter, still deflecting blame, but something in her eyes had changed, maybe defeat, maybe realization. The judge was clear. The divorce would be finalized, and protective orders remained in place. Julia tried one last time to guilt trip me, but I stood firm. I told her, this ends here. I'm done being your victim. Walking out of that courtroom, I felt lighter, like a weight I didn't even realize I'd been carrying was finally gone. Am I scarred? Hell yes. Am I cautious? Definitely. But am I stronger? Without a doubt. This story was about betrayal and chaos, but it's also about survival and the choice to reclaim your life no matter how messy the past. Thanks for reading, Reddit. Here's to new beginnings.